Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm gonna be analyzing this Stratego game against Nate T2. This is how you want to see me in some of Stratego's videos in the comments, and I do record some of his games like this one, and I'm gonna be analyzing this one like so this always doesn't get bored because one person analyzing every game, and with like uploads like once every 2 days at least. It might get a bit boring, so I'm just gonna analyze this game, and hopefully it's not as boring. So yeah, so let's get right into the game. This game is sped up 1.5 times speed, so let's get right into it. So this guy was bronze general. I think that he was around 500. I don't know his exact record or something. I think that he had 1600 total games, like 800 and 800. So I thought that he was like a pretty aggressive player coming into this. So let's see how the game went. So we start advancing on the left because like we have captains over there, it's easy. So this is coming down, might be like a like captain or like lieutenant or something because it's coming from the center and like when you advance down the center, you want to have like good pieces or like any side. You want to have like captains like lieutenants in the front to get like thousand sergeants and then find targets. So this piece, there's no point in like moving up, put those scout to attack it. So we're just gonna let that happen. And on the right, we're gonna move up with our scouts captains. So in the front row, captains like the highest thing that you're able like consistently see in the front row will be captains. So I like bringing scouts up and then using captains to take the pieces. So here we find a lieutenant. This is why captains are great in the front row because you like very rarely find like majors or above, and if you do like that's still pretty good info. So that's why captains you have four of them. So yeah. So you can have like one in each lane to start. So they're super good early game because they can get lower pieces than you can get info. So we take that a free lieutenant, and then he hits the scout. We get another free lieutenant. We have to reveal a major this time, but that's fine. We can't have him hitting the sergeant there, just like getting off like scot free. So we're up two tenants down to scout. Pretty good start, and so he has to start getting back pieces using the info that he has. So we're gonna scout that to bomb. So since he's advancing down the center, and there's like been no movement from the other sides, and that's a bomb. The other piece is probably also a bomb, so that's probably bombed off. So let's see how that affects the game and how us and our opponent deal with it. So he's still coming down the center right here. So he's just coming down. Sensor major is known. We just move back. We're thinking that could be a good piece. So just a major. So that's smart. So bring down a piece of equal level. If you don't think there's any like other good pieces nearby, then you can get scout or sergeant and then exchange. So that's a good play by him. I haven't done it that much, so that only works like in this case because he only had this scout to worry about. Like, and it's probably not a major as I said before because you don't have like high pieces in the first two rows. It's, that's just a scout there. I've been thinking like he was advancing down the center and then the left is bombed off, so he probably has like junk on the right. Yeah, so he's he's coming out as but this piece we move our scout up to like find something as a captain, unfortunately. So we're just gonna get that Louis and get info. But we've a major, so it's fine. That's not too bad to reveal. We're up a captain, Louis, down a sergeant, and three scouts. So we've used quite a few scouting pieces, but you have a decent lead, and he knows captain and major because he did trade. So yeah, so let's see here. So I think that we went major down again because we didn't want to make our gen too obvious. But this piece, for its front row like size, not anything good. That piece behind it might be, but front row size like usually not good pieces. So then okay, let's see what we do. Yeah, so left, it's like it's yeah, there's nothing to do there. So that piece coming from behind the lakes. it could probably be a pretty good piece because they don't want to get scouted. That's why high pieces are behind the link. So you'll find like Gen, Marshall, Spy, sometimes Kernels. So yeah, so that could be a good piece, but the other two probably aren't that good. So then that was then and you go right to pin him and scout it. This is an error on his end. He easily gave up the info for just a scout. So we find that. Now we know that the other two pieces are probably pretty bad because that's why he's bringing his shit done to like protect them. And he probably wouldn't have a like a high piece on like on the side as I said before. So there's no point in moving a major right now. We just um like two square him there and kind of like passively for now. I don't know what he's doing. He's just like shuffling in the back for now. Then so I think that we bring this miner up now to like get us unpinned there. He's bringing out a third row piece, and we're thinking that might be good, but you just never know with like with like third row pieces. So we go a lot down because if we like posted it right here, then we know that Jen is a good piece. So like he would know that this is a good piece without even like having to scout it. Although it could be a bluff, but you don't want to bluff against lower level players because they're gonna call it. So then we think if he had Jen here, he probably has his Marshall like in the center to protect from attacks over here. So and this piece it might be good coming from the third row. So like major or corner to like go for this major because like he could either take it or like get a piece of info and then trade. So we just come up here with our Jen. I think that this have moved, and then this is the gem, but this might be the Marshall. Like he doesn't know that, so let's see what we can get here. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember it. Yeah, so here we decide to attack it because we think that it was a kernel going for that major, but it's a major that's still really good. I'm happy with that. Then he should trade because then we can go after the other pieces in the area. So we do try that. Um, I think yeah, but if you go up here, like we don't know what these are. And this could be the Marshall, so it's pretty unlikely. But there's no point in like going up because this major. Pretty sure it's known and it's on two square. And since our gem was here, we like wouldn't have like Marshall nearby. So yeah, so he can get this piece. So we decide to go put this with the theory option and trade. So Ginger off the board, and once that happens, kernels are more powerful because you can be super aggro because like you have two kernels, you can just like roam the board, get a bunch of pieces and find info of the Marshall, and that's really good. So kernels are indirectly buffed when generals are taken off the board. So we got into square here because why not? He has to bring down two high pieces, so like Colonel or like Colonel Marshall to trap us. So yeah. So then we're bringing this miner up to find some targets because that's yeah, that's just what we're gonna do. So here, he does a big brain play, except it's not. Why? So if we're advancing that aggressively into his base, then obviously we don't care about high pieces. So he shouldn't have done that. He should have known that like it was a bluff or something because people aren't gonna hit that piece anyways. It's not a common Marshall spot because usually they're like behind the lake, so you shouldn't have like taken that because we basically wouldn't have hit it anyways. So yeah, so we know Marsh. We don't know any kernels yet. I'm pretty sure, but I think that this piece was a kernel later on. So like he didn't want the Marshall to go in for it. So I think that's why he didn't want to take any chances. So yeah, so he revealed a lot. So we know Marshall. I think that's it, but I think that these three have moved over here. So then we scout this piece because like maybe he may have like a major or colonel next to it because like Marshall guards those usually. It's just a scout. That's fine. And then he moves the piece to the right. So we go spy up. Then okay, I don't know. So we bring this colonel out because his marshal's right here. He can't hurt us over here, but we can't attack him either because he might have like Colonel Spy over here, and then we just exchange if he brought up our Colonel. So there's like not much to be done over here. So we just bring our Colonel out, and after some like two squares shenanigans, we just get our Colonel up there, and it's kind of a stalemate on the side for now. So we eventually get our Colonel Spy set up. So we scouts that. I was gonna play on his end because even though it was pretty obvious, it's good to confirm. And we bluffed earlier with a minor, and that was his like third scout. So it's pretty logical to do that. So we come up, we'll put this Louis here because we're up one, and he's probably scared now because like he doesn't know what's a bluff and what isn't, and he probably is scared of getting counterattack. So he scouts it. That was the point. It's to bleed him of scouts because at the time we were down three scouts. Now we're only down two. Then we trade. You probably thought that that was a bomb. So you got so that's another scout. So he's been burning through. I think that was like four scouts and like 4 or 5 moves. So he took that Louis back in and come up with this unknown captain here. I think that we pin his marshal. Yeah, we do. So we can't um go down put this marshal because he could like let it by and that would be bad for him if this was a colonel. So it's good to like put it here. Maybe we can like bleed a scout or a lower piece now. So we come out put this colonel because Vito's marshal. This colonel can like do something because if you know it's marshal, we can exchange at worst Amer up a major and a captain. So and a Louis. So that's fine. So if you want to trade now, if possible, we still think that left is bombed off, even though we didn't check this bomb, but it probably is bombed off though because he would have been going down that side if he could, like finding targets, but yeah, it's bombed off, so not much over there. We don't defuse it and like break through because our miners are in the back row, so there's not really any point in doing that. So it takes some time here. I think he goes to like under 4 minutes in his buffer. I'm pretty sure. Most players like always want to keep at like 5 minute buffer, but there's no point if you have to think for everything to do so because like chances are you probably won't need to use all your buffer. I don't know why it's 5 minutes. That's a lot of time. So this piece, I mean it's behind the lake, so it might be something good. I think we take some time here to think about a move. Yeah, so I think that we're gonna two square him on the right maybe. So we bring that colonel out now because if it's Marshall's pin in the center and he thinks that our captain is a colonel, then we can like come to the right or something. But actually, that kind of backfires, and you'll see why. So you go up on that piece because so this piece was actually a front row piece. So this originated from right here. And I know this, so I was using the custom made tracker. So we saw that this piece came from right here, and we're like, that's probably trash. And it was guarding old no, so this piece was like right here. So we're like, this piece is probably nothing good. It's like its front row, even though it's in the center, you only see like captain or like maybe major there. Colonel's like pretty rare, so that's really unfortunate. But we do know we do know a colonel, but like at what cost? A piece probably another colonel like coming to trade. So we have to bring our colonel over because, but why would he be so reckless put this colonel? That's because he thinks that this captain is a marshal, and that doesn't make any sense because why would we pin our marshal with his marshal? His is known and ours isn't, so we could come somewhere else with it. So and like counterattack there. and he still has a spy in his base, so like probably one of these three. So I don't know why he's doing that, because he has no reason to think that this is a marshal. I mean, he's either a player, but since he thinks that this is the marshal, he's acting recklessly, puts his kernels over here. If someone thinks that like a certain piece is something, then use your actual like that piece to get stuff, because if he thinks that this is the marshal, we can go over here with our marshal and like act super recklessly. Then he attack it, put the kernel and try to trade. Hopefully this isn't making sense here, but we attack up because this is known, this is not. So just like good to confirm like that's a kernel. He moves in with this kernel there, so it might lotto the spy or something because he doesn't care at this point. And yeah, so thinking that he does lotto. Yep, so that's pretty unfortunate. This captain is known, he scouted it earlier. Put the back row scout over here, so you have to like get that out of the way. He's still scared of this piece. This is Marshall, I'm pretty sure, so he could like fork us and everything, but he's not doing that. We don't have a spy. Actually, I don't know what this piece is. I'm pretty sure that it's Marshall. So here, if we just we're stationary, then he can go right, and then we be trapped. So also big enough here, put our sergeant to get on 2 square, but there's the point in like sacking this when we're gonna lose the Louis anyways. So basically like come up with it and see what we can get. I might be going too in depth here with my analysis. Like this is my first game with it. I think that I'll be good at like analyzing things at some point. I think that I have a different analysis style than the Sergeant Stratego. So here he can go right and I'm 2 squares and like fork this. So B go right, and then when he goes right, I'm pretty sure he does that. Yeah. So then we can go up to prevent him forking us and find some info. So he's bringing out a piece. So obviously he wants us to hit this piece. That's why he's bringing it out and not this one. So that makes us determined to hit this piece because he doesn't want us hitting it like maybe the spy or something. I don't know where it came from, but he doesn't want us to hit it, and that's known Louis. So like it's like Sergeant Minor's spy or something. So then we do hit it here because we have him on 2 squares. So then he just moves there to get our Louis in the long run. So we can take this piece anytime. It's fine. We can like rearrange our board a bit in the meantime. I'm pretty sure that this is martial law. Like I might have forgot this piece. It's trying to like divert us. We just take the minor. I mean it's under, so like that, kind of sucks. And that's a captain too. So in up captain, down a sergeant. So he could easily win this game here. It's anyone's game. And we're kind of getting like like I'm pushed into our setup. I think that, yeah. So this is a marshal. Sorry for that. I'm not that good at memory because I just use the program from my stuff. So this is a marshal here. We don't have a spy, so he's gonna be pretty reckless. But he doesn't want to exchange because it's like he's down a captain. He's to take advantage of the fact that we don't have a spy, and he does have one. So here we just like try to trade colonels because we don't want them. We have 3 captains over here. These are targets, and we don't want them like getting them in one way or another. So we try to like pin them and everything. But then this captain up here, if we go right and then he doesn't move down soon enough, then we have him on 2 square. So let me do this. He takes that sergeant. That's fine as long as he goes here next move. I didn't notice that the sergeant was like vulnerable, but it was not worth it. So here he had to go captain down to get on 3 square, but he didn't. He was too focused in the immediate task that he was doing, which is bringing his spy down. So here he brings a piece back. So I don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure he had Marshall here, spy here. He can't like stop us obviously. So we get captain. Up to captains, we can drop pieces in the end game. So that's pretty nice. think that he's bringing down a spy here or something. So this piece, I don't remember what it is, but like it's not the spy. So here we bring this back to the center because we don't want him like trading morsels and coming over here with his colonel. We'll we'll get down a ton of captains if we do that. Burnley lose at least one. So here's is coming down with like spy marshal I think to like force an exchange, but we don't want that for now. Yeah. So this is I don't even remember what he had here. I think that he had spy marshal here. So this marshal spy this piece is like some random piece right here. So now he's bringing his colonel back. We're afraid that he's gonna lotto, but we just like hope right now. So we're up three captains. You know, if he doesn't lotto, that's easy in game. So this is Marshall. This is Marshall. This is spy, and he chases us back a lot. You shouldn't have done this. He had control of the center, and our colonel was like somewhat out of position. So I don't know why he did that. Now he's bringing the colonel to the center. I don't know why he's doing that, but you will see why soon. He does a pretty good play here. So here he has this pinned because if it's like we can't move his captain because we can only hit him with it. So we're gonna go up and then left to get this unpinned and like block his spy and colonel. But here he did it's just a really good play. So he goes spy left. So this is good because we have to move, we have to move our marshal or we're gonna lose it. So that either means up or right. If we go right, his spy is still gonna be alive and he's gonna get a captain. But so we hit it because better getting spy than no spy. So we hit it and he gets a captain. I mean he did give us a free captain earlier on and then we got one of his. We thought that this was a spy because he had marshal Colonel Spy. So like it's not the classic Marshall Major Spy shot, but it's pretty close. So we knew that was the spy, and there's nothing else that can be. So here we get our captains on two squares. So this is like bombed off, so we can get it to like here and be safe. Then we get the other captain out of the way. So this Louis did move. Yeah, we'll see if he remembers that because he can get it for free. I don't think yet because like not yet because our marshal could drop in between these three bombs. But let's just see what happens. So he's bringing his marshal back. So like because we don't have a spy. So he has us on the defense now because he's a colonel in our base. And these are his only two move pieces except for like this one like probably like scout or like miner. No, he doesn't have any stuff. So it's like probably like minor, like sergeant or something. So it's not really going for this. So he has us on the defense now. So we have to be like pretty careful here. So he's going over there. He's like baiting our marshal back while while threatening our captain. So that's pretty unfortunate. You have to just like two square him. He goes down. So we're just gonna pin him here because with the addition of this bomb, you can't lotto like that much like he can lotto all of this, but he will die at some point. We just want to like pin him and like get our captains free. So like this one, this is a good colonel though because he's putting the marshal and this captain here. So here we just move this like colonel away because so we move it up and then he goes down. Yeah. So like why would you do that? Because if he gets this on two squared, then we're gonna have to like move it up, and then this captain has to control the center like right now. So we go up. This is like long distance horizontal two squared. It's like pretty rare. So we just like move it a bit. I don't know. Yeah. So at first I'm like wait, he's gonna lotto this, but I'm like okay, he's just two squaring, so we have to prevent that. So here we go right. Then he's obviously gonna go here, like here or something. So then we should go down again. In like situations like this, like always watch for like two square because you may get like just like distracted by something else. But yeah, so like here I thought that he was gonna lotto, but he didn't. So like don't get distracted by things like that. Like you focus on what your opponent is trying to do, and if you mainly focus on that, then you won't get caught in like dumb like misclicks like that, I guess. So here it's just doing like more two squared. It starts like chasing a kernel in these two squared and a captain. So he's just doing everything he can to try to try to square us. But we are avoiding it here. He can finally get this lead because before his kernel would have been trapped in bombs. But you know here he can get it, and props to him for remembering that it moved. So here we're like, okay, this kernel is putting this. We have to get out of here. Just gonna like on lotto or like bring down miners. We have to get this kernel out of here. And conveniently moves right, so we can force a martial exchange. When we have two captains in the end game. It's not the best because it could have been three, but you know what? That's fine. Also, paper kernel here. I'm pitting the center, so that's pretty nice. So here we just like force an exchange. Think that we go down and like we consider how we're gonna hold it like in the end game and everything. So he's like so before doing a major exchange like this, always think about what's gonna happen after and long term because you don't want to be in a bad spot after you exchange and if you don't have to exchange then like don't do it. But here we're like okay, his kernels is all the way down here with this like one move piece like pushes on two square. This side is bombed off so he can't move over here and most of the pieces are probably over here, so our kernel's up here. It can like pin everything, so we decided to exchange after like thinking about what's gonna happen. And obviously he exchanges because like he doesn't want to lose a kernel. But the bad part is he's putting your major without even knowing it. So here we just like get a captain away. That's probably a major, uh, but he shouldn't have moved it first because he couldn't have gotten it by. And when beginners lose a high piece, they like move their next high piece. Like he didn't lose it, but this kernel is like pretty useless right now because he doesn't have any target, so he moves his next high piece to major. Like that's just super obvious, and we just pin it. So yeah, they still haven't won yet because he's up lieutenant, two sergeants. I can't see the minors. It's kind of fuzzy, but I think we've each used one minor. Then of a scout, so he's up some lower pieces. We haven't won yet. And if he gets one captain, then he's basically gonna win. He's up a lieutenant and two sergeants. So this piece is like minor or something. It's coming down. Um, so it's a lieutenant. I don't know why he'd do that. So like it was a moving piece, so he was gonna like lose at some point and people trap it, but their um surplus of two captains, but this way brings it down. It came from right here, and then we thought that it was a minor, so we're like, wait, he can bring it over here, and then we're screwed. So then we start bringing our kernel back, freeing his major. Then he's like, wait, I'm gonna lotto because if he lottos, then he can like get targets from our captains and major. So here we're like, okay, we don't want him like I'm lottoing and finding stuff out, and it's obviously not a major like coming from the back row, so we just hit it. It's a Louis. That's great. Kind of like spoiled that little surprise there, but here we're super happy because we're no longer down to Louis. We just like drop him over here and then move his captain back up. Is like a bit of like two square. He does lotto. That's a I mean the corners aren't that popular for bombs, but then people like put them there, so I think they become more popular over time. I'm not really sure though, but these pieces always get lotto though. These two miners every game. So that's pretty unfortunate, and we did move his bomb over here. So I did that on some new killer setup because it was working better. Also, I moved this bomb to right here because like it's super helpful. Get some decoy flags. So yeah. So he's done following for now. So that's smart. So when you let don't push your luck because each time you find a piece following, the next piece has a higher chance of being a bomb. So smart didn't lotto for now, and he took. So here we're like if this movie's moving here, he might be threatening to Lotto to like get us to move piece, but like you never know. He gotta move the major up. It's finally unpinned. I think it's time to move it up, and then he Lotto's the minor. That's a pretty good choice because you think that this is a triangle here. He has reason to believe that. So here just comes to the to the center, I think, and he chases us, hoping for an exchange or something. And so here he wants to exchange majors, which obviously means that this is a major. He's down to captains. He shouldn't have done that. He has to get back in the game by like scouting pieces, but he can't because the side is bombed off. So our colonel being here after the martial exchange was key because we were pitting like his entire setup. So like in the mid game and end game, board position is super important because even if you're at pieces in the end game, there's like there's more space open in the board, so you can like maneuver easier, but you don't want to be in a bad spot. But in the early game, there's like pieces like blocking each other, so material is more important, but in the end game there's less material and it's harder to like trap pieces and get pieces unless you have two to trap. So that's why our board position was key here. So here we just like chasing down these. We have three. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Okay, let's see if we can go back to where we were. Sorry about that. So right here, so we're bringing our colonel down because we don't want him to lotto. We have three captains that are like all mobilized in like different areas of the board. We can bring this one over here and then hold this one over here. It's easy win if we do exchange colonel. So we have to get that colonel off the board like quickly. Okay, let's see what he does here. I think he goes left. So here we don't want to like pressure him because he might follow these pieces. If he doesn't follow this, so we're moving back up here to pin pieces, and we're hoping that allows basically. If he does, it's a sure win. We can move that piece out. We can't stop here. We're one tile away, but we have captains who are fine. This is obviously coming to exchange, but you can't exchange now. Like you can't get our pieces. You doesn't have enough material to do that. So now he's kind of screwed because we have like that captain on the right and colonel in the center pitting his entire setup. Need lottos. This bomb is great, I'm telling you. Before it was like up here, everyone knew that it was the bomb. Here, it's great. Um, there can be a flag bombed in here, or bombed in here. If this piece is still here, so this is like pretty good, and like only this piece is like trapped in a way. So that's CG. Can't win. We have Colonel Petting here, Captain Petting here, and then a Zorka Captain here, and these pieces are all invincible. So in this game, some of the major takeaways. So first, don't bomb off sides. Like in some setups, it's good, but in this case, it restricted his mobility way too much. Um, and you also don't reveal your high pieces for like scouts because if you can't get a piece, so his gen wasn't chasing a major, but he can get it guaranteed, and he's got scouted. So don't reveal your high pieces for like junk. Like take a chance and just because players bluff a lot, and you don't want to. So players have 13 scouts and miners combined. Then you have like sergeants to that list. That's like 16 pieces. 16 pieces, which if you lose in a bluff, they don't even matter. 16 pieces. That's almost half your board. Then there's like one marshal, one general. So a lot of time it will be a bluff. So, but he thought that our monarch coming up was a good piece. That's like bad play. He shouldn't have revealed his marshal and gen for like low pieces. Also, he bombed out a side there, and then in the end game we had a good position when exchanging. So that's what made us win the game. So we tell him GG, and then he surrenders because there's no point in him playing because he can't win. But then if he does keep playing, we can just track the rest of his setup on the tracker. So there's no point in that. So here he surrenders, and that's good game. So that was a good game against a high bronze player. So yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Just a game recap. So we're um okay, I'm just gonna go to the end here and do a recap. So we're up a colonel, up two captains, down two sergeants, down two minors, up a scout, but like easy win. I'm telling you, you can do anything to win. So that's CG. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video and this like new kind of analysis. I don't know how different it is. So some other games on the channel are being recorded by me. He just done all the voice for it. So now let's get into the analysis of his board setup because of our program. Okay, so this is his setup. So we didn't actually check this piece right here, but I mean, he didn't move here all game. It's pretty obvious that it's a bomb. Okay, so now here he had captain, colonel, major, major, and then his general marshal were like over here, like more to the center and on the right. So he didn't have any defense over here. Jen could have like came in here and like lottoed, so that isn't that smart. Um, and then on the right he had triple scouts here, triple vertical scouts, and then here he had Gen spy colonel. So he had a version of the major martial spy trap. So like you know that's fine. That's a great trap, and his spy was also protecting his Gen here, but there's a flaw with that. Um, you could pressure him from both sides. So I would say, I mean, it's a decent setup. I don't know if he was like platoon or I don't even know, but his left was bombed off. So I think that he was like platoon in the center or on the right. Maybe he was like Gen platoon on the right, and then he had this in the center for defense. I'm not really sure. Um, so this is set up. We didn't get all of it, but if he kept playing, then he would have. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.